Alright, the next quest in the Weapon Project, I found the better name for this series. The Weapon Project series of quests plus quests is Duty in the Sky with Diamond. Duty in the Sky with Diamond. Let's go. Cutscene. Right away, cutscene. Hey, yo. You've come at the right time. There have been some developments in World we'd like to share with you. And as luck and as luck would have it, here comes the ideal person to explain the situation. Thanks, I'll take it from here. I'm pretty sure it's guys. Oh, it's not. Thanks, I'll take it from here. It's an archeress. Why do I remember her? Is she... She's the one who's like Lisa's second in command, right? Female, blonde hair, McCoat, kind of like spiky in the back, kind of as if it's like a bun, but like with spikes coming out. Ranger, or Archer, whatever they're called. Minago, there it is. It's been too long, Minago. Nago, for short. Yes, it certainly has. I haven't seen you around Rolga's Reach much lately. Anyone would think you're trying to avoid me. But as much as I'd love to stand around chatting, I'm afraid I've got some serious business to discuss. Following the liberation of Turncliffe, it seems the people of Wurlit also have their hearts set on freeing themselves from the grip of the Empire. Like-minded citizens have rallied under the banner of the Wurlit revolutionaries, and they aim to depose the 7th Legion that currently occupies the city. Their ranks include many former conscripts, and between them, they possess no small amount of combat experience. The only thing they lack is someone to lead them. After much consideration, they decided to turn to none other than Gaius Balesar. Of course, many would balk at the thought of turning to a former enemy, and many did, but desperate times call for desperate measures. His reputation as a legatus speaks for itself, and as most Alamegans will attest, he was a far more reasonable and pragmatic leader than his predecessor, the Mad King Theodoric, or his successor, Xenos for that matter. But most importantly, he was the one who led the invasion of Wurlit in the first place, so who better than him to take it back? After accepting their offer, he requested the delivery of additional arms and provisions from the Alamegan resistance. Not that we have much to spare at present, but we'll do what we can. While my comrades see to the preparations, I've been assigned to meet him in person. I was wondering, could you accompany me to Turncliffe? Blech. You nod. Thanks, Mercy. To be perfectly honest, coming face to face with the Black Wolf is a rather daunting prospect, even if he has supposedly turned over a new leaf, but I'm sure having you there will make a world of difference. She's so cute. I love her. I'm in love. I believe you're acquainted with her escort, yes? Let him know when you're ready to get going. Nago! The badass me-coat huntress. Archeress. Resistance escort. Another trip to Turncliffe, is it? Travel to Turncliffe. Talk to Gaius. Talking to Gaius makes a cutscene happen. Nago and I come up to him. Ah, Gaius Balesar, I presume? He nods. She glares a little bit. I come bearing the Alamegan Resistance's official reply to your request for aid. She walks up a step to him, hands him something, he takes it. Reads it, or looks at it, whatever. I see. You have my thanks. Does this mean we can finally make our move? Says the commander. He nods. With the assistance of the Alamegans, we will soon have sufficient arms at our disposal to stand a chance at victory. But lest we forget, the 7th Legion has been conserving its strength thus far, and we must be prepared for severe casualties should its full might be brought to bear. If our lives must be the price of freedom, we will pay it willingly, says a soldier. His commander nods to him, explains the situation to the 3 soldiers behind him. All well geared. Some give the fist and thing, some give some pumps and cheers. My back itches. Like right where I can't reach it. Let me be clear, we Alamegans have not forgotten that it was you who led the invasion of our homeland. The blood of our fallen loved ones is in your hands. Is on your hands. That makes more sense. He looks at her for a little bit. She looks down. Even so, the people of Wurlet chose you to lead the revolution, and we will honor their decision. I only hope that they will not come to regret it. He nods to her. As do I. Should I be found unworthy of their trust, I shall submit to their judgment and whatever that may entail. She looks back up at him. Forgive me, but might we return to the task at hand? First, I would like to discuss the transportation of supplies from Alamigo, says the commander. She nods to him. This way, if you please. And the four of them and Nago go off, leaving me and Gaius. Once again, I prepare to lead an army into Wurlet. The irony is not lost on me. It is a cruel twist of fate that these people, so desperate from years of oppression, should turn to their conqueror for salvation. For most of my life, I believed that only the Empire possessed the strength and wisdom to lead mankind. Only through great sacrifice could civilization hope to thrive. And so I led the conquest of Eorzea, forcing the doctrine of Garlemald upon the ignorant and uncivilized. In every territory I sought out those with the potential for greatness, without regard for one's birth or circumstances, that they may serve the Empire. But there are those such as Valens, who see being born Garlean a virtue in itself, one above all others. To think that a monster such as himself should be granted the position of legatus and everything that entails, it makes my blood boil. We're just looking at him. He holds out whatever is in his hand some more. Valens brings shame upon our homeland, and makes mock of the ideals it once stood for. By my hand he shall pay for his foul crimes. Alright, let's do it, bud. Severa comes up. I knew it before she said it. We're running out of time, guys. We have to go after her. He's silent. Turns to me. There's something I would show you, but not here. Come with me. I nod. Did Allie run away? Cutscene goes black. I'm in control again. Cannot mount, sadly, still. Let me ride my chocobo in this place, please. It won't hurt anything. It is an awesome bird that's well trained. Cutscene talking to Gaius and Severa. You must keep this to yourself. I do not want the soldiers to think I am being distracted by personal matters. Allie ran away, I get it. This letter was found in her room. He hands the letter to me, and I take it. I hold it out, and... Dear Father, I am sorry for leaving without saying goodbye, but the thought of Alphonse suffering alone is more than I can bear. For his sake, and for the freedom of Wurlet, I have decided to take matters into my own hands. I know of a way to save them, a way to end it all. I have to seize this chance before it is too late. My mind is set. Please, do not try to stop me, Father. The days we spent together were the happiest of my life, and no matter what happens, nothing can take that away from me. With all my love, Allie. She's heading for the 7th Legion stronghold in Wurlet. I'm certain of it. Severa screamed to her, taking matters into her own hands. She looks down a little bit. She must be planning to take control of one of the weapons. If so, there's no time to waste. We have to mobilize our forces and save Allie and Alphonse. I want nothing more than to save them, but I cannot ask the Wurlet revolutionaries to risk their lives to rescue 2 Imperial soldiers. In any case, if we were to rush into battle without adequate preparation, the 7th Legion would tear our partisan army to shreds. And as capable a warrior as Mercy is, if she were to charge headlong to the head of the enemy, she would be overwhelmed by sheer numbers. I can go Paladin, I'll be fine. But if we don't do something, Allie and Alphonse are as good as dead. I know, Severa, and so did Allie when she wrote that letter. Returning alive was never part of her plan. Severa bows her head a little bit. We're getting a call, baby. Oh, they have earpieces too, okay. Can you hear me? I'm in Wurlet, just outside the Castrum Collinum. All hells have broken loose, says Val. There was an enormous explosion, and through the smoke and flames I saw what appeared to be another weapon. At this rate, the entire... Confound it, we have lost the signal. This must be what Allie spoke of in her letter, a way to end it all. Alphonse and the others were planning this from the beginning. To bring the weapon project to completion and use it to free Wurlit from the Empire, even at the cost of their own lives. If the revolutionaries were to hear that a weapon has been unleashed upon the Imperial headquarters, they would see it as the perfect opportunity to strike. If it's running amok, it may not distinguish between our allies and the Imperials. A large force would draw too much attention, but the three of us should be able to get close enough without it noticing us. He thinks. I drink. I take a step forward. Between us, we shall find a way to save them. Yes, that should work, was my other option. I cannot allow it. This is my burden to bear, and I shall bear it alone. Rest assured I have every intention of making it alive, or I'll have you know my record for surviving dangerous missions is impeccable so far. I'll have you know my record for surviving dangerous missions is impeccable so far. I have died in your mech a couple times though, so things happen. I could die. Very well. After thinking for a minute. For the time being, I will have the revolutionaries stand by and await my signal. An opportunity to reclaim Wurlit may yet present itself, but we must first be allowed to remove the threat of this new weapon. Severa, have Sid ready at the G-Warrior. Understood. She runs off. Once your preparations are complete, let us reconvene outside the hangar. Cut screen went dark, by the way. Sometime earlier in the 7th Legion's Wurlit headquarters. Always gotta watch these dark screens, apparently. We see Valens, without his mask, with creepy face. How wonderful it is to see you again, my dear. I was beginning to think that you weren't coming back. Apparently Allie has come to him. In my impatience, I may have vented my frustrations on that brother of yours. I do hope you'll forgive me. Lord Valens, you mentioned before that the previous weapons were merely prototypes used to gather combat data without their cores. Yes, very good. I see you were paying attention after all. Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, the primals they absorbed and the data they accumulated will serve a singular purpose. In the completion of my masterpiece, the Diamond Weapon. There's 3 boys, one Elizin, one human, and one Ara. But while you and your siblings were able to retrieve the necessary data from the Ruby weapon before Gaius and his lackeys arrived. He's got like curly pointed boots at the toe. Sapphire and Emerald were handed to the enemy on a silver platter. Those worthless curs failed to meet even my exceedingly low expectations. She balls a fist behind his back, but controls herself. As detailed in my report, I took it upon myself to infiltrate Gaius Belsar's band of rebels and reclaim the data. He kind of gets on her level a little bit. Yes, you have done very well, my dear. My engineers have already finished feeding it to the Diamond Weapon. Then all that remains is for me to assume my role as its pilot, and for you to release my brother and the rest of our compatriots, as per our agreement. Of course, of course. A handful of savages is a small price to pay for your remarkable talents. Even though the weapon project's revolutionary technology allows even an untrained pilot to fight with the skills of a veteran soldier, only the truly gifted can draw out the full potential of the synthetic Orosite. In addition to their physical attributes and combat prowess, I require unwavering loyalty before I can even consider entrusting a candidate with one of my creations, and you are everything I desire. That's a creepy way to say it. I am honored that you regard me so highly, Lord Valens. However, in return for my continued cooperation, I wish to propose an extra condition to our arrangement. It zooms in on her. I request that the people of Wurlit be given full imperial citizenship and the right to self-govern. He looks at her slowly. My, how very bold of you, and quite astute at that. Yes, I could grant the people of Worland citizenship if I so desired. Unfortunately, a mere legatus such as myself is in no position to simply relinquish control of an imperial territory on a whim. Come now, we both know that the weapons are but a means to an end. Your true intent is to march on the capital and claim it for yourself, correct? Once you have taken the throne, one small territory would seem a fair reward for those who played a vital role in the ascension of Emperor Valens. He walks toward her. 3. Right in her face, basically. Oh, he's a little bit. He's like a foot away. Now he's in her face. I say, for someone so sweet and innocent, you certainly drive a hard bargain. Very well. If it's Worland you want, it's yours. I'll soon have no need for this stinking backwater province anyway. And he gets back up. And what about my brother? He looks up. Ah, yes, Alwick. Or was it Alfred? Whatever his name is. You needn't worry. I've made special arrangements for him. He smiles. He'll be perfectly safe, provided you uphold your side of the agreement. She looks down a little bit. Excellent. Now let's get you aboard the diamond weapon, shall we? Ah, one step closer to my coronation. Sorry, that sounded like Rick a little bit. But he's holding his hands out. You know, arms stretched wide, hands open, up to the sky. She looks resigned. This is the moment I've been waiting for, as like we can hear her thoughts. I know this isn't what Father would have wanted, but it's the only way. Please, forgive me. And we see what is probably diamond weapon. Similar shape in the upper body as Emerald, with like the I'm gonna call like gigantic shoulder pads of like brass gold. Initiating the synthetic orosite system. All sensors activated. So far, so good. Allie's at the control panel. Red data screen in front of her. Diamond weapon, codenamed Xenos, commencing activation sequence. She's wearing a suit of like skin-tight red armor with like black shoulders, and we have the control room. Behold perfection itself. So okay, I get a second here. So kind of like brass gold-ish kind of colored thick shoulders that just go straight out from the head, looking like they have a means to fire missiles, maybe, because there's some not holes but like openings, like kind of looks like thick claws or teeth kind of create openings in that. A head that's also gold, similar as to a lot of the other weapon heads. I can't see anything else because it's being barred. It looks like it has two thick brass gold legs. I see arms that are kind of thin, but you know, still massive, ending in gold or brass colored, like 4 claws, like a thumb and 3 fingers. Melisandria, Recon, and Rex gave their lives, that others may live without fear. The orosite is taking hold. She's got like 5 control panels, holographic, or holographic, whatever. I'm just glad that you didn't have to go through this, Alphonse, but you'll have to go on without me. You and Father still must work together to... I'm sorry, I can't be there at your side. This is the only way. He's waving down there. What's that, my dear? Is something the matter? The diamond weapon is mine. Your tyranny ends here, Valens. And several eyes glow red on the diamond weapon. It stands. It's got like this red beam-looking light thing in the center of its chest. Alarms are going off, lights are flashing. Kind of got a dragon face, like a brass gold dragon face with a red nose, like a red light nose. It gets all pumped, and it releases lasers from the shoulders. That's what those things are. More lasers just blasting freaking everything around here, but the command cube seems to be safe. Lowborn filth, if you think your little performance had me fooled, you are sorely mistaken. What are you waiting for? Shut it down. His engineer's trying. Yes, my lord. Transmitting deactivation signal. There's explosions happening all around them. And it does deactivate for a second. 2, 3. Nothing's happening, not moving. She's trying, but the controls aren't working. Ah! It's not responding! That insolent whelp had me worried for a moment. Bring her to me alive, even if it means damaging the machine. When I'm through with her, she will beg for death. An Ellison man, engineer, scientist, speaks into his earpiece after nodding in affirmation, and some of those like mech warriors similar to the one that we got as a mount come running in with soldiers aboard them. They circle the diamond weapon. No, I can't let it end like this. Melisandre, Recon Rex, guide my hand. She bows low. Alphonse, wherever you are, lend me your strength. A tear falls onto the control panel. Bzz, combat sample. Bzz, ready. Initiating overmind. Subject name. Bzz. A tear activated the control panel. Come on. It probably was made better than that. Overmind? What is that? Definitely not oversoul. Ah! She screams as like a bunch of energy is now. Well, the screen went like energy black. Right? This can't be. It's ignoring the shutdown signal and initiating overmind. But how? Says one of the engineer. He's pounding the control ball. I don't care how. Stop that thing before it brings down the whole castrum. He looks up, panicked, as it once again is powering up its central laser on the chest, aiming it right for him as he gasps his probably last breath. I must speak with the Ironworks pilot. Ironworks pilot, I'm coming to talk to you. Please don't run away. Cutscene talking to the Ironworks pilot. Ironworks. Gaius is here too. Ready to depart. I'll send for Master Garland. He tries to call Sid. Screen pans up, goes dark. And Sid comes out of wherever he was. We all expected another weapon to appear sooner or later, but not quite like this. According to Valdialun, after it finished laying waste to the headquarters of the 7th Legion, it took to the sky. Though this has dealt a massive blow to the Imperial forces, I am certain that Allie is on board the weapon. It must be halted before she comes to harm, and for that I need the G-Warrior and airships to transport it. I see that that one thing hasn't changed since your days as the Black Wolf, your penchant for gigantic war machina. He looks down for a second. Nods. But if this means the G-Warrior has another chance to shine, I'd be happy to oblige. Only this time, rather than having it unceremoniously towed by airships, I have a more dynamic entrance in mind. Crossed arms from Gaius Severus, thinking that Aragal, we talked to Avelina. It's good to see you again, Mercy. She was on board helping with the... From what I hear, we have you to thank for Avelina volunteering to help the Ironworks. Since you joined the team, our work has come on leaps and bounds. I'm just grateful for the opportunity to finally put my knowledge and skills to good use. And as far as I can tell, your target is the diamond weapon, the most powerful of them all. What's worse, its design incorporates all of the combat data and abilities of the other weapons, making it far more formidable than those you encountered before. Thankfully, we've had time to prepare for such an occasion. Would you care to elaborate? Says Gaius. Let me put it like this. Thanks to Avelina's tireless dedication, the G-Warrior has been reborn. She nods. But there'll be time to explain more on the way. Come on, the Enterprise is waiting. It says one thing to me. I get, fist and palm pump action. We all turn to board. Cutscene over for now. Or transitioning. We're aboard the Enterprise. Probably gonna make this a two-parter because I'd like to take a quick break, maybe pee before. There's another. That's not the G weapon, is it? Oh. Yeah, there's like an aircraft carrier thing holding the G weapon. It's got like rocket boosters on it. Very impressive, but may I ask what purpose it serves? Since our objective is to rescue the pilot, we've added a means of capturing the diamond weapon. We come to save lives, not to end them, and for that reason the G Warrior has been reborn. I present to you the G Savior. It'd be nice to rescue Allie and Alphonse. There's a landing pad atop this big old carrier of sorts, and it looked like the Enterprise was about to land. Oh, it did. It landed on it. I'm gonna call this part 1 and come back to it after I use the restroom and get ready. There's gonna be a link in the description of this video to my Google Doc PowerPoint with all the Amazon products that I purchase and recommend. Can't go wrong with any of them. They're all great. If you purchase any of them with a link in the description for that particular product, I'll get a small cut. I'll see you next time.